Brigham Young University is actually getting a med school, and this is a really, really, really big deal.
Bullseye.
How about the car in the driver's seat? I pick you up, but there's only room for me.
Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, back to Ward Radio. I'm your host, Cardinellis. Today I'm joined via Zoom by Jonah Barnes, the Associate Professor of All Things Apocryphal. And today we're going to be talking about this article, hot off the press. BYU is getting a med school. Yes, it is true, ladies and gentlemen. Brigham Young University is actually getting a med school, and this is a really, really, really big deal. Jonah Barnes, tell us why.
So BYU, if you didn't know the model, so BYU really doesn't have a big emphasis on graduate schools. Its emphasis is on pre-graduate stuff. So general education, BAs and BSs.
Yeah.
And so you go there to get your undergrad done. And then if you do really well and you want to go to a grad school, you have a great path to get there because BYU's undergraduate education is the best. It is just the best.
Very reputable.
And so Yeah, it's huge. Yeah. So they don't pour a bunch of money and resources into graduate programs because they think, hey, look, if you want to get a great graduate degree, you can go to some place that's the best in the world. But here you come for an undergraduate degree. BYU was trying to educate like farm boys back in the day. And so that's kind of the model that it was all about, right? So with two exceptions, their law school is actually quite good and their business school, I know, business school.
Yeah.
Is pretty good, of which I'm alone. So now they've announced.
And I landed you here as associate professor in Ward Radio. Your business school,
That's how good it is.
Exactly.
Poster for the success of the Marriott School.
Awesome.
Here he is on a podcast.
Oh, that's funny. All right, keep going.
But now the first presidency has announced the BYU is going to have a full-blown graduate medical school. So this is a big deal. This is like they've only had a couple graduate schools that they focus on. Now they're adding a third. They've only had like two big emphases. Now they're adding a third. This is a big deal. Usually BYU sends them off to other places, and now they're saying we're going to be able to keep them here.
It makes perfect sense, though, because what is one of the hardest programs to get into? It's absurd, man. But this blew my mind. I lived with a guy that dated a girl that worked at the Apple Store, and I didn't realize that the Apple Store gets more applicants than Harvard does, and they take less of them. So actually getting hired on as an Apple Store employee is actually harder than getting into Harvard now. Yeah. And
Jeez.
Yeah, it's absolutely absurd. And in a similar vein, at BYU, the nursing program, oh my gosh, you already have to be a top tier girl to make it into BYU. I mean, the average incoming GPA of the girls going into BYU is absurd. I mean, it's the same quality of student that you get in the Ivy League, right? And then on top of that, once you become a student, you have to go through an even more exclusive process of getting into the nursing program because it's such a great profession for somebody that is, of that heart and mind that they want to practice the healer's art and so on and so forth. Yeah. So like with so many LDS men wanting to become doctors, women wanting to become nurses, even other women that want to become, I dated a neuroscience girl that would have loved to have gone to BYU had they offered some kind of neurosurgeon pathway instead of having to go off to, Columbia or some other medical school out there. So to me, it almost begs the question, why didn't we do this earlier? I'm not trying to nitpick, you know what I'm saying? But like this was a great choice. And I think it's one of the biggest bulwarks against the social wokeism. Become a medical school.
Yeah,
Don't just sit there and complain, start competing. Finally, the church is stepping up and starting to compete. I love this.
Now, Cardin, just because while you were a student, you needed some extra cash, you submitted your brain to experimentation and analysis by the med school, doesn't mean she was dating you. Doesn't mean that she was dating. If she's poking rods into your head or putting little suction cups on, that doesn't mean that you were dating.
Just because she saw your thoughts doesn't mean she wanted to be in your thoughts, man.
Just because she was messing with my mind. Is she a neuroscientist now?
Dude, that is so funny. So
BYU, BYU has a great pre-med program.
Yes.
And it uses that pre-med program to send people to other great schools. It actually ranks 18th in the nation for the number of placed medical students. So
but that's not the same.
That's a great job.
That's not the same.
But it's not the same as having its own medical program. This is a big deal now.
Yeah.
So
this is such a short article. I just want to point out one thing that I saw, and then you can say the interesting things you noticed. It says the BYU Medical School will not create its own hospital or hospital system. BYU and Intermountain Health are discussing a mutually beneficial clinical relationship. It is anticipated the medical school will seek collaborative relationships with various entities in Utah, including the University of Utah, yada, 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 this and that. First off, I think we should have our own hospital system. And ironically, didn't we used to have our own hospital system? And then the church sold it and it became Intermountain Healthcare. Like if I'm not mistaken, the genesis of Intermountain Healthcare was the fact that the church did indeed own a bunch of hospitals, and they ended up offloading those hospitals. And then the person that bought them, similar to how there's Primary Children's Hospital. So what did you find? Correct. Yeah. What does it say?
The Deseret Hospital, or LDS Hospital, was a general urban hospital and surgical center in Salt Lake City owned by the Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints, and now is owned and operated by Intermountain Healthcare.
Yes.
Oh, you're right on.
So dude, the Catholics do this. The Catholics do this. Like, why don't we have... Like, I'm sorry, the Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints needs to be a righteous socialist empire if you actually follow the scriptures. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's so hilarious that, like, President Benson was so anti-socialist, and so am I from a governmental perspective. You know, religion is, it's all via persuasion. It's all, volunteerism. When you have a lay clergy, it's different. But like the way a religion should take care of its people and regard itself as like Zion being an empire is like literally in functional description, like a pseudo-socialist empire.
It's true. You're not wrong. You're not wrong. Like, why stop at socialist? Let's go full on commune.
No, because I want to wear clothes and bathe. You know what I'm saying? I enjoy showers. I believe in cleanliness, But this is so cool. And I actually think if they're doing it right and the same strain of thought keeps pushing this forward, we're going to get our own hospitals back. I don't see how the Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints in North America succeeds without the following: a robust homeschooling program for young parents with children that want to be able to escape Babylon, and the rising cost of housing. And we've talked about how the church has built middle class, and I think they should build workforce housing in some of these other states that allow for that very specific carve out. And then 3, a hospital system, because that's what's killing family creation. And if we're going to take Tikla Fife's words seriously, or of being radical familyists, those are the 3 biggest things that are prohibiting family formation and creation and our birth rate in North America. And I think the church could lead the charge. And frankly, this is a good first salvo over the bow, man. I don't know if we're all for homeschooling. I think we want our children to be able to look adults in the eye by the time they're That 18, used to be the concern. But dude, my heart and mind has been changed. And by the way, by homeschool, what I actually mean is just not on the physical campus of a public school. I think our chapels, which are empty from 9 to 5 every single day, during the day, why aren't our chapels schools? I don't know. Like we could rotate. All the Mormon mommies could rotate through. Okay, on Monday, Jennifer and Janet are going to teach this class of 25 kids from these 3 wards. And then Stacy and Beatrice are going to do it on Tuesdays with social studies and mathematics. And then the sister who's the freaking, crushing it Pilates instructor, and the girl who does all of the athletic courses at 24-hour fitness, she's going to come over between 12 and 2 Monday, Wednesday, Friday, and she's going to be doing the PE class and dodgeball. And dude, I think the Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints could pool its resources and develop the most impeccable K through 12 system based upon already built buildings that are practically falling apart and have no other justification to exist, except for if we turn them into schools, all of a sudden, boom, shakalaka. And imagine the football teams, bro. Imagine the football teams.
Yeah.
They'd shred.
Hey, look, I'm with you. I just don't want to send my kids to homeschool. I just don't want.
I will change your heart and mind. But anyway,
I don't know.
okay. Any other thoughts about this, bro? This is big.
Okay, well, yeah. So the actual announcement here from the Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints, First Presidency, they say, quote, Brigham Young University is, or what's the Oaks, right?
Yeah.
Brigham Young University is committed to academic. No, that's not. How does he do it? We need Kwaku's impressions here. Brigham Young University is committed to academic excellence and targeted graduate disciplines, traditionally focused on business and law. The First Presidency is pleased to announce the decision now to create a medical school at BYU. A major focus will be on international health issues affecting members of the Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints and the Church's worldwide humanitarian efforts. Bullseye. Great idea.
Boom.
Plans for this medical school are underway and specific target dates will be announced, blah, 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 blah. Strategic importance, blah, 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 blah. It says the BYU Medical School will not create its own hospital or hospital system yet. I put in yet. Yeah. BYU and Intermountain Health are discussing a mutually beneficial clinical relationship. Also, it is anticipated that the medical school will seek collaborative relationships with various entities in Utah, including the University of Utah. So the big emphasis here is that it will focus on international health issues affecting members of the church around the world. So we've talked about here on the channel, anemia among children in Latin America, or malnourishment here or there, or getting clean water, or the effects on prenatal care in Ecuador. We've talked about all these things. The church is going all over these places trying to do these things. I think having a medical school where you're going to research specifically those needs around the world is a fantastic idea.
And imagine the bishop, okay, in Guatemala, that can say, I don't know what it is, but people in my ward keep getting sick from X, Y, or Z thing.
Right.
Imagine if all of a sudden the church could just send out a seasoned public health missionary that used to be a doctor, because there's plenty of Mormon doctors or LDS doctors that volunteer as well. And they have to go to other programs like Doctors Without Borders and so on and so forth. Every once in a while they get coaxed into doing a senior mission, and then they'll become the doctor for like a 4 or 5 mission area, you know? But imagine if that dude could get sent down and say, okay, for a week, you need to meet with this stake president, bishop, you need to tour the area and figure out what the heck's going on. And even if they just like test the water, do whatever, develop some kind of program and say, okay, here's where you can help your people out, then boom, go to the next place. Like, we could do that. The infrastructure of the church could change lives like that, all like in a heartbeat. Okay. And they already do a lot of really good stuff. Like, for example, their well building programs are really interesting and good. Sure. And if they could simply just like the church can't solve everybody's problems all at once. So it's very easy to say, why aren't we doing this? Because everybody has their own thing that they think, why are they doing this? So we do have to trust that these people are trying their hardest. Okay. But at the same time, this seems like really low hanging fruit.
Well, so one thing that I noticed the church started doing, which I think is brilliant, is there was a guy in my previous ward who was a retired dentist, and he got called on a mission to be a dentist, but he wasn't going anywhere geographically. He would be at home, and he had like all these countries, like dozens of missions, that if there were any questions about dentistry, that they would Zoom call into him, and for free, he would give consultation about dentistry, right? And he does this for free. It serves thousands and thousands of missionaries if they need it. They also do it with all kinds of specialists, medical specialists, that's their mission, is to just give free consultation.
Wait, the poor missionaries don't have to drill their own cavities, do they?
Right. Yeah. So he would talk about
okay, go down just 1/4 of an inch, just 1/4. If it starts to hurt, dial it back.
I'm imagining Castaway, where he's got like the hockey skate, the ice skate, and he's like hitting his tooth out.
Yeah.
No, but he said that these guys would call in and they'd say, you know, here's my symptoms. What do I do? And he'd say, okay, you can take care of that just at a Guatemalan clinic, no problem. Or you need to go to like a nice Mexican clinic in the capital, or you need to come back to America. That's a big deal. Or get over it. That's nothing. Like just that initial triage of things is worth a ton of money. And elderly, people who want to serve senior missions, who have that expertise, the church will use you, and you can serve from your home and benefit thousands of missionaries. I think it's a genius idea. They do it with optometry, dentistry, and all kinds of medical professions.
I remember I was working with a local congressman named Steve Knight in California. Before the Obamacare hullabaloo came out, he was actually trying to make an alternative to the state version of Obamacare back in like, when did Obamacare pass? 2012, 2013, whatever it was. So back in like 2012, he was working on this great program, and the big hook that got it almost to pass. Unfortunately, our state's run by Democrats, so they just poo-pooed it simply because they didn't think it up. But it was a great program where he basically said, all this program is designed to do is offload the 85% of people that hit up our emergency rooms because they don't have health care, and 85% of the entrants into the emergency rooms are not actually emergent situations. They're just regular urgent care situations. But that's where they're going because they have nowhere else to go. Right. He basically, had this really cool idea of super pharmacies in every Walgreens, Walmart, and, had all the companies signed on for it, and they'd make money so they feel good as well. And they had to have a nurse practitioner in every location and so on and so forth. But basically the institution most poised to do that, I think, frankly, better than Walmart worldwide, is the Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints. And we have such good members that are so dutiful and work so hard. The head of our ER that diagnosed me with leukemia was a buddy from my ward who was also in, the high council. Now he's running an entire hospital in Florida or Tennessee. I can't remember. They poached him and picked him up for that hospital. So guys like that could easily be engaged in the triage of all these problems. And 85% of them don't require the money dump that gets dumped into them if they could just have a knowledgeable person filter through the who's being a baby and then who actually needs to get flown back to the United States, and who can go get a root canal, over there in Bogota by this guy that I trust.
Yeah, I'm sorry. It's great. It's a great idea to use it. The church is very proficient at this. This is a great opportunity to address a big misconception that people have about the church. So University of Utah is just north of Provo, where this new med school will be. And University of Utah is a world-renowned medical school. World-renowned. Excellent medical school, okay?
Classless mobs can do some things, right?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. So there's the Spencer Eccles School of Medicine, the dean thereof was commenting on this. He said, this is great because the current enrollment numbers at University of Utah highlight the high demand for medical education in our region. They have 2,000 applicants. They only accept 125 positions. That is incredibly small. So they're desperate for people. People want to stay in the mountain region and study medicine, but University of Utah is kind of the only place to go to do it. And so this is going to be great. It'll help relieve some of that pressure. Also, because University of Utah has such a fantastic medical school, and it does, don't worry, none of those football players are going to med school, so you can separate those in your head. So they have an excellent medical school. We're
going to get like some lady named Janet Allred that's like, actually, my son plays fullback for the, he is a proud University of Utah Ute, and he has been accepted to be, like we're going to have one really angry lady. All the rest are poli-sci majors. They're all poli-sci majors. So anyway, keep going.
If they graduate at all. Yeah. But so the plastic surgery school, the cosmetic surgery school discipline in the Eccles School of Medicine is also excellent. It's just fantastic. So a lot of plastic surgeons that graduate from there want to stay in Utah because they live in Utah or because they studied in Utah. So they end up kind of converging in Utah.
Or it's more affordable.
Yeah. Also, Utah happens to be kind of partway between New York and the East Coast and California and the West Coast. Mm-hmm. So Utah became a great epicenter for people getting plastic surgery. That doesn't mean that it's Utahns getting the surgery. It means that they're coming to Utah to get the surgery, which is a big difference. So Utah, contrary to popular belief, actually is only the 6th highest plastic surgery rate in the nation. And it's not because Utahns are getting it, but because Utah is offering it with all their plastic surgery education and clinics and all that. Florida is actually the number 1 for plastic surgery because any cosmetic changes to the elderly is considered plastic cosmetic surgery. And so Utah has a large retirement population in St. George as well, who also receive a lot of that surgery. So the misnomer that Utah has all this plastic surgery culture because of their perfectionist culture is wrong. There's not data to support that. It's because there's plastic surgery clinics in Utah, and there happens to be a retirement population in southern Utah, and these things work together to inflate that number to 6th out of 50 states. So
cool.
just a little debunking while we're here for fun. And now let's get to the memes. Okay.
Oh yeah, I love this part.
So the first here is that they want the School of Amputation is going to be named after Ammon, the prophet. So it's going to be Ammon's School of Amputation here, and you can see kind of an AI depiction of what the classes might look like. Utah has
Ammon was a qualified surgeon. He was a qualified surgeon.
It's experience. How many hours have you had the knife in your hand? He did a lot with just one.
Yeah, but, dude, for real.
So then the next is that we have a unique relationship with medicine because the next meme, Thor, illustrates the LDS relationship with it. So the nurse is saying, well, the doctor is the reason you're still alive, to which the faithful LDS member goes, is he though? But is he though? But is he though? Right? So I don't know if there will be a school.
It's both. God guides the hands of those that will let him.
I don't know if there'll be a school of blessing and anointing, of blessing and but there should be. There should be. And then the last meme comes from Studio C, Matt Meese and Jason here. He says, time to test reflexes. Whacks him across the face. Yeah, failed that test. Okay. So we always love those Studio C here. So anyways, it's going to be a unique school catered to helping international health, researching international health. Brilliant idea.
These memes were great. Idea.
Yeah.
These
10
memes
out of 10.
were epic. That's funny. All right. So, yeah, let us know what you guys think in the comments below. Are you planning on going to med school? I'm literally calling right now. I'm calling up a family member who was planning on, he went to BYU. His wife went to BYU, Idaho, and he was looking around for med schools. I'm going to see if this changes his calculus. Let us know if it changes yours in the comments below. And before we go, though, Jonah, I got one thing to show you. And if you have made it this far to the end of the video, you are going to love this.
Oh boy, I'm worried about this. What's going on?
Guess what just came in, bro?
Dude!
Let's see if
you did it.
Yeah, there it is, bro.
Oh shoot, that looks amazing.
There it is, dude. Veteran of the war in heaven. And then check this out. Check this out. Do you know what flag that is? Body recipient first class.
What's the flag?
So that flag right there, that's actually the Nauvoo Legion flag.
Oh, shut up.
Yeah, and then look, there's your boy right there.
Yes, and there's the plan right there.
Yeah,
this looks amazing.
Oh, dude, it looks totally awesome, man. It looks totally awesome.
When did you get these?
Just got these in. This is the prototype. I'm trying 5 different hats out. I want to make sure that this is high quality, and we don't do anything cheap here. I don't do print on demand.
Dude, that looks so good.
Yeah, I don't do print on demand because everybody loves the really high quality of all the merch that we put out, right?
Actually, yes. I was reading some of the reviews and people are saying this isn't like cruddy merch. Like, this is really nice.
I'm so sick and tired of people charging 15 bones for a 2-cent hat. And it's like, I want people to be able to wear it with pride. So this is all designed in America, made in California. I think some of the parts I'm sure are imported somewhere from Asia at some point, like the thread, who knows? Made America thread in the embroidery machine. I don't know. But it's all actually made here locally. It's procured locally. I think Yupung is based out of Chino Hills, if I'm not mistaken, and that's the basis of the hats. They're kind of like a Flex Fit knockoff company that's North American. And at least the warehouse that we purchased them from is, and then the embroidery team and the people that do all of our silk screening and all of our design and stuff like that, they're same people that do all of the merch and the products for Universal. So I'll go in there and he's making 5,000 Transformers costumes for the people down in Studio City, about to do the Transformers show at Universal Studios. And I'll be like, hey, can I get 100 hats?
Can I get some hats here?
Can I get some hats? He's like, oh yeah, dude, yours are cool, man. Don't
get mixed up. Don't have the Transformers show guys with the Ward Radio logo on them.
Yeah. So anyway, let us know if you guys want one of these hats. They're probably going to go on sale on the website.
Dude,
pretty
it looks
soon.
Amazing.
Yeah. Isn't that straight up legit?
Dude, that looks amazing.
Now, the thing is, we have to make a commercial for these though. And the commercial that we have to make, I want to make it kind of comedic, like, are you a veteran of the war in heaven? Did you see 1/3 of the hosts fall with Satan? If so, and you're a survivor, you need this war in heaven veteran hat. I want to do something
so we need to try going into like a burger joint and getting a discount or something for veteran.
Oh jeez. Oh jeez. No stolen valor. No stolen valor. But that's really funny.
Legit. Hey, we're legit veterans of the war in heaven. It's not fake. It's not fake. I'm just saying.
Make it a proselyting opportunity. Oh, you don't know what that is. Oh, let me get the book of Revelation out for you and the book of Moses. That's funny. All right. So let us know what you guys think in the comments below. Okay. Are you stoked about BYU getting a medical school? I am. Let us know your thoughts. And are you stoked to get a veteran of the war in heaven hat? Let us know. Either way, for this and more, please make sure you guys check us out at wardradio.com.
How about the car I'm in the driver's seat? I pick you up, but there's only room for me. The only lane that I see is money green, but I pass you, don't even try to come.